This morning, very privileged to have a guest on board. This is Chris. He's shown some interest in having a look round both vessels. You were passing one day, I understand, Chris, and thought, this is quite interesting. And by word of mouth, he then found out there was a connection through myself. And you've been taking some photographs as well.
Photograph, yes.
So you've got a bit of competition.
It looked like a historic photograph.
Yeah.
I should have done it in sepia.
Yeah.
It was kind of it's not over.
No. Very long runs of timber without any knots in it. One of the reasons they swabbed the decks where they're chucking seawater on the decks is A, it helps clean, and it's a bit of discipline, isn't it? Come on, let's clean the decks, keep it tidy, it's safer as well. Is it actually preserves the timber.
Yes.
So if when I show you around and we go below decks, what little there is of the decks at the moment, when we go below, you'll see where we've had to replace parts of the ribs, but not below the waterline, for two reasons. One, you can only replace those ribs if you're in a dry dock, and you can support the vessel fully. But there isn't actually an exact requirement for it, because the seawater is preserving.
Yes.
Is preserving those timbers below the waterline, because water gets into a boat.
Yes.
It doesn't matter, modern, new,
I think
whatever, it gets in.
When they lifted the Mary Rose, I think they had to keep it in seawater, didn't they?
Yeah.
So
I mean, like the Vasa in Sweden, that's another example, perfectly preserved, but on its maiden voyage, launched it, and straight over, because it was top heavy. Somebody hadn't done their calculations properly. But, so the killer is rainwater. So everywhere, above, if you're not on top of it constantly, your timbers will start to decay. And the other thing that became apparent was that when it was built in St. Petersburg, they'd used a different technique. They hadn't used solid oak, because solid oak is an expensive commodity.
Yes, yeah.
And what they'd done was they'd used laminated timber, so glued lots of layers of laminated timber.
Oh, sounds like floor.
Yeah, and it's not the best of wood that was used either. But Alex, who's our shipwright, had said that in many ways, sometimes that lamination, because you're getting lots of different directions for the grain, and because you've got the glue in between each layer, it can actually produce quite a resilient and effective structure. That has not been our experience.
No.
All we found is just massive amounts of decay.
It would delaminate anyway.
So that's the Apepe. That would be, and I was saying to you earlier about when we do the corking and there's a little chamfer. Well, if you look at these end on, you will see there's a little chamfer either side of these timbers.
Yes.
And when we're laying those, so if you want to carefully come down here, Chris, the first thing you've got to do, you've got to centre your first decking board. That is absolutely essential, and that we hand over to Alex, the shipwright who comes.
Right.
Because that's your starting point. Yeah, you lay that down, but then as you then proceed and you're laying decking boards one against the other, we use these things here called dogs and wedges. So a dog, see this metal structure?
Yeah.
Basically just, if I can find one, I think there might be, they've moved them all now. But they're basically just two prongs and here we are. There we are, that's a dog.
Oh yeah.
So just prongs, they get bashed in. And then when you're abutting each decking board against one, the next one you've already fixed, you are putting the wedges in.
Yes.
So bish bosh bash, that pushes it all up tight.
Yeah.
And can you see how that chamfer I was talking about
earlier?
You've
got a gap, haven't you then? Yes.
There's a gap.
Yeah.
And that's where we put the cork in, the oakum. Right. And we used ancient, for want of a better description, or time-honoured implements to do that, corking irons.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually once you know what you're doing, it's quite a simple process.
Is it equivalent to like an expansion gap then?
It is really, it is. And once you get the seawater on and they get wet, there is some degree of expansion and it seals itself to some extent.
Yes.
But once you've put your oakum in, then you would seal all the top here with pitch.
Right.
And however steady a hand you think you've got, the mess. I mean, I'm going to put my hands up. I make a right mess. And then we have to clean it all off. Once we've cleaned it all off, we then treat the decking with Danish oil.
I've used Danish oil.
Yeah, and it's all it's all sanded down, and you can see where we fixed it with we use special nails. But you can see here, can you see these oak cross beams?
Yes.
Well, they're running the full beam here.
Yeah.
The beam is like the width of the boat. It's maximum width.
Huge amount of wood, isn't it?
And so we're cutting these out of a massive piece of oak using templates from the original beams that were there.
Yeah.
We put them in place, we fix them in place, and then we put little blocks in between, a bit like noggins, you know, when you're doing roofing trusses.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So you're putting little noggins in, so everything's braced against itself. We've got some metal ties that are running in an X form, so they're straps that then help secure this, because you know, obviously this point here you got the mast, and you want some structure and some, not rigidity necessarily, but you know, some resilience. And and then we got the half beams, and you can see here we do like complex dovetails.
Yeah, those dovetails look very good to me.
Yeah, they are, but they're compound. They're compound. So not only are we cutting these out, but you can imagine like there's angles, so they're like compound. So when that fits inside, and then it tightens up, because as you push it down, because it's on an incline,
right,
when you push them down, it's tightening up too. So yeah, so we do all this. So, but you can see, look, can you see this, Chris? Can you see what's happened here? Look, this is what we're dealing with. So all of this, it's all coming up.
Oh heck yeah.
And some of these timbers look to me like they're not, you know, they're probably some form of pine, because we do use pitch pine.
Yeah.
We used pitch pine when we were putting the boards, when there was damage on the starboard bow, when we replaced the boards on the hull. But
it's the end, you see sort of where the darkened wood is, where it's lighter, it's solid.
And you can't appreciate, I'll just pass you this, Chris. Right. I'll just pass you that. That's just a wee little piece of oak.
Just to get an idea of the...
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So you can imagine, when we're dealing with these things, and a lot of it is down to just simple hard labour.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all, you know, it's all coming together. What I'll do, I'll take you below, because I'll show you what it's like where we've been fitting new ribs. But you know, I really would encourage you to go onto the. I really would encourage you and other people to go onto the YouTube site, because it shows you what these vessels were like in pristine state, and they were magnificent. And you know, given enough time and commitment, they'll come back to that state. Just watch yourself here, Chris, because obviously we're a little bit hazardous. Always go down a companionway backwards.
I've really enjoyed my tour of the vessel today with Colin. I'm not a seafaring person at all, but it's really been fascinating to actually come on board and have a look at the restoration here. I wasn't aware of it even actually happening, but we just happened to walk past in the marina a few weeks ago, and my partner said, "Oh, well, I actually know the person who's actually working on board," and they've actually let us have a look. And I've really enjoyed it. It's been very good indeed. So it was nice. I'm looking forward to actually seeing the vessel on the YouTube channel, and I'm sure you would enjoy it as well. So do tune in.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, good. I'm pleased you enjoyed it. Yeah, do put the word out.
Yes, I will do.
You know, look forward to you gracing our vessel again sometime in the future.